Hello everyone, today we'll be going to learn how to mount volume with RWX mode in a KIND cluster using NFS, that is Network File System. Kubernetes cluster can be created locally with the help of various tools such as Docker Desktop, Minikube or KIND. Where Minikube and Docker Desktop allows to create a single node cluster and KIND allows creating a multi-node cluster. As KIND allows creating a multi-node cluster, which also comes with a default standard storage class which provides only one access mode, that is read-write once, which sometimes may not be useful, like when one wants to mount the same volume on multiple nodes for read and write operations that can be used by pods further, but cannot do it because of the read-write once access mode. We will be seeing more about access mode in a while, but for now let's understand what is persistent volume in Kubernetes. Persistent volume basically do provisioning of storage for applications running in pods, and it can be done either manually through cluster admin, that is static volume provisioning, or dynamically through storage classes, that is a dynamic volume provisioning. As these storage classes allow admins to provide different types of storage classes via different types of provisioners such as NFS, EBS, and many more. And to use these resources, it must be requested through persistent volume claim, that is PVC, where a PVC object allows pods to use this storage from persistent volumes. Like in this diagram, where a user is requesting to use persistent volume through persistent volume claim, which basically using a dynamic volume provisioning through the storage class standard, which has access mode also read write once, and this standard storage class is pointing to the configuration of a storage class which has provisioner as AWS EBS. And as soon as the user makes the request to use this persistent volume through persistent volume claim, then this persistent volume is used by the pods. Access modes are where to tell us about different modes of operations like read and write operations each persistent volume can hold. Like here, the first access mode is read write once, that is RWO mode, which allows volume to be mounted on a single node with read and write both permissions, and this volume can be accessed by multiple pods if it is running on the same node. The other one is read write many access mode, that is RWX, which allows volume to be mounted by multiple nodes with read and write operations both. The next is RWX mode, that is read only many, which allows volume to be mounted by multiple nodes but with read permissions only. The last one is read write once pod, that is RWOP, which allows volume to be mounted by a single pod in the cluster with both read and write permissions. Now next I am going to create a multi-node cluster with the help of KIND, and for this I have already set up the lab, and you can also do by clicking on the lab setup button at your side. So the multi-node cluster will have 2 worker nodes and 1 master node, and this cluster can be created with the help of KIND create cluster command, and the cluster creation will take few minutes to get set up. As soon as the cluster gets set up, we will now check the status of each node with the help of kubectl get nodes. Now we'll be going to see what storage class KIND cluster comes with, and this can be seen with the help of kubectl get storage class command. And it comes with a standard storage class, which is a default class, which has a provisioner of a local path. More about it can be seen with the help of kubectl describe command. And as you can see, different annotations it has: volume binding mode, that is wait for first consumer, and so on. Now I'm going to create a MongoDB pod which will use standard storage class as persistent volume with access mode as read write once. For this I'm going to create a persistent volume claim which has access mode as read write once and a standard storage class. And this PVC is going to be used in the MongoDB deployment under the volumes attribute. As soon as I create the MongoDB pod and PVC with the help of kubectl apply, then I am going to check the status of pods and PVC with the help of kubectl get pods and kubectl get PVC command. And as you can see, the PVC has access mode as read write once with a storage class standard. We can also see more about it with the help of kubectl describe command. And here we can find out about its storage class, its status, is volume mode, that is file system, and so on. Now again I am going to create another MongoDB pod, but this time under persistent volume claim I am going to specify access mode as read write many. And as soon as I apply it with the help of kubectl apply, then going to check the status of pods and PVC with the help of kubectl get command. And we'll observe that the pods and the PVC are in a pending status, and this is because the standard storage class comes with only one access mode, that is read write once, and we have a specified read write many access mode, so it keeps getting in a pending status. We can also find about this PVC with the help of kubectl describe command. And as you can see that the standard storage class status is pending because the access mode value is empty here, as a standard storage class comes with one access mode only, that is read write once. Next we will be going to see how to set up read write many access mode in a KIND cluster through NFS, as KIND comes with only one standard storage class which provides only one access mode. And to use NFS, we will be going to use some external provisioners which will help in creating a NFS storage class. And some of the external provisioners are NFS Ganesha server and external provisioner, NFS subdirectory external provision. And to configure NFS storage class in the KIND cluster, we will be going to use NFS Ganesha server and external provisioner. And so how this NFS server will be setting up a NFS storage class in the KIND cluster can be understood with the help of this image, where NFS server will going to use persistent volume from KIND standard storage class, which only has access mode as read write once. And from this NFS server will create another storage class, let's say with name example NFS, which will have access mode as read write many. And this example NFS storage class will be used by pods further, which will have a read write many access mode. And for this, I'm going to first create a deployment with name NFS provisioner along with service and service accounts. And then the pods of NFS provisioner deployment can be checked with the help of kubectl get pods command. After this, I'm going to apply different RWX roles to these NFS provisioners. And then I'm going to create a storage class with name example NFS and NFS as its provisioner. And the storage class can be checked with the help of kubectl get storage class command. And as you can see that the standard storage class we have in the KIND cluster, and other than that we also got a NFS storage class with provisioner as NFS. And as you can see that both storage class has different volume binding mode. Volume binding mode is basically a field which controls the volume binding and dynamic provisioning. And in standard storage class, volume binding mode is a wait for first consumer, which basically means it will delay the binding and provisioning of persistent volume until a pod using this persistent volume claim is created. And on the other hand, NFS has a volume binding mode as immediate value, which is a default mode, which indicates that volume binding and dynamic provisioning will occur once the persistent volume claim is created. Next, I am going to create the persistent volume claim for the NFS storage class with access mode as read write many. And then I am going to check the persistent volume and persistent volume claim with the help of kubectl get command. We will be getting a persistent volume claim for NFS, which will have access mode as read write many. So in this hands-on lab, we have seen how to configure a KIND cluster and saw with what storage class it comes, and how to configure a NFS storage class with a read write many access mode in a KIND cluster. Thank you.